Hi everyone, I'm thrilled to be here to present to you AV and especially MGT. So MGT is our proprietary technology to do transcreation video. In a nutshell, you have a video, you want to broadcast it on different social media like Facebook or Instagram. Of course, your video won't be adapted to this content. So with AV, we help you to adapt the video. To start, let's give you some context. So, what is AV? AV is a SaaS platform. Of course, it's not working. Okay, good. AV is a SaaS platform. So, on AV, you will upload your video. In this case, it's Nespresso. And it's an Nespresso commercial that lasts 30 seconds. This commercial is meant to be broadcasted on TV at 8 p.m. when people are eating in family. It's absolutely not meant to work on Facebook or YouTube because it's too long, because it's not the right dimensions, or it's not the right purpose. So to do that, let's first look at the video.
My collaboration with Nespresso was a connection to my roots, to my mother, coffee that hits the right notes. Unique notes and old song flavors. Experience and taste that notes. Espresso and Sandal origins.
Okay, so this is a commercial. Unfortunately, we don't have the budget to have George on this one, but it works. You want to use the video on Twitter or Facebook or anything. So let's take the example of Facebook in stream. In the Facebook in stream, you have some constraints. For instance, the video must last between 15 and 30 seconds. The current video lasts 30 seconds, but it's not perfectly fitted. Also, you need a specific format. You need a square format. So you click on generate, or you click on the template. It generates a video that lasts only 20 seconds. It's magic. It's instantaneous.
My collaboration with Nespresso was a connection to my roots, to my mother, family, transport to Espresso and Sandal origins.
As you can see, it's shorter, it's instantaneous, please clap, upload, etc. In detail, what we are doing here is explaining, is telling the AI what we want. So, for instance, in this case, you have the rules and you have the priority rules. You can say that you want logo, you can say that you want people, you can say that you want close-up shots or fast pacing. In this form, you can see that we have a lot of criteria that you can customize to precise your prompt and ask the AI to generate something that is more fitted to your targets. Then you have the creative score, which is 80% in this case. And you can, again, feedback the AI and say, I want more of this or less of that. If you're not completely satisfied with the content, you can also add or remove some stuff. For instance, you can change the audio. In this case, you have a French video, or is it English? Anyway, but we can use a Spanish version of the video, and the AI will adapt the audio to the content. You can add subtitles, which are also automatically generated. And when you're done, not now, you can also have karaoke subtitles if you want. And you can export the contents, so the final video as an MP4 or as an XML, as an Adobe Premiere XML, so you can keep customize it on Adobe if you want some very specific stuff that you cannot do on AV. This, in the nutshell, is what we do at AV. So now that you have some context, let's focus on MGT. MGT is, sorry. Okay. Anyways, MGT stands for multimodal technology. So, what is it? As you've seen on the presentation, on the introduction video, first you upload the video on the platform. That can be done on any website. It's not very specific to AV. What is specific to AV? It's what's happening after that. First, sorry. First, you analyze the video. So what we call the creative analysis is actually watching the video, using AIs to watch the video, to listen to the video. It's mostly computer generated, but not only. You analyze the data and you analyze the video and you transform the video into data that are, for instance, JSON data. If you uploaded the video, it's not to play with AV, it's because you have a purpose. You want to display it on YouTube, you want to display it on Facebook, you want to display it somewhere for a specific audience. Then you can customize the output. Let's start with the Facebook experience. So you have your commercial, you need a Facebook story. You know, because Facebook tells you what are the expectations for a good Facebook story. It has to last for 5 to 15 seconds. You need logos, you need text, you need voices, you need a lot of stuff. That's what Facebook tells you, or what experience tells you about what is a good or a bad video. We translate it into business rules, something you've seen in the introduction video. Then, because we have those business rules, we have a way to explain MGT what specifically we want. In this video, we want to see a logo until the 5th second, at least 80%. Or we don't want to cut any spoken sentence. Or we want mostly close-up scene between anywhere at least 60% of the time, etc., etc. Those rules are rules that you can customize yourself. Then you analyze the video. So the video is uploaded. You start a lot of AI watching the video, and as long as the video evolves in time, the AI identifies their text, their logos, their people voices, and whatsoever. We have more than 20 AI models for that. In the end, the video can be completely discarded for us, or what we're looking at are data and time codes. So for instance, in this case, we see that in the first, let's say 4 seconds of the video, we have text, then we don't have anymore, then we will have again, or we have logo, then we don't have anymore, or we have voices, etc., etc. So in this representation, in this schema, every time there's a hole, it means that the data is not present, and every time it's not a hole, it means that the data is present. You have to imagine that it's not only 5 lanes, but as I said, more than 20 lanes. Because we have those data, and because we have the business rules, we are able to tell you how well your video will perform. And in this case, for a Facebook story that is supposed to last 30 seconds, 15 to 13 seconds, I don't know what to say. Anyway, this won't work. It won't work because first, it's way too long, as you can see on the image, and because there are some expectations from Facebook that you do not match. So, how can we do a better version? The solution we chose to use is the genetic algorithm. I don't know if you're familiar with the genetic algorithm, so let's focus on that a bit. We have a population, no, not at all. We have a video that lasts 1 minute, but on this, we can split this video in, let's say, segments of 1 second. So we have 60 segments of 1 second. And the target we have is a video of, let's say, 15 seconds. So I can take 15 segments completely random from my video and put them in the final video. If I take 15 segments completely random, I will have something that doesn't work well, of course. But if I do that 100 different ways, I expect to have a population of 100 candidates that will perform some better than others. It's completely random, but I will have some better performance in some cases. So let's say this first population has a performance between 3 and 10%. I take the top 10, I remove the other one, and I spawn a new 1,000 population, a population of 1,000 candidates clones from this first 10. Then I mutate those populations. I add a shot there, remove one here, also there are some elements of the population. And the second population of 1,000 elements will have a better score than the first population of 100. If I do that repeatedly, in our case 100 times, in the end, I will have a converging score and a converging candidates. In this case, the converging candidate is the E. It doesn't mean that E has a perfect score. It means that based on this genetic algorithm, the candidate E has the best score compared to the other ones. In this case, E made of some elements has a score of 64. Why 64? Well, because in some cases we just couldn't match the expectation. In this case, we want a logo. Okay, but in the initial commercial, there's no logo. So I cannot make something that doesn't exist. We all know the word garbage in, garbage out. If I don't have a logo, I cannot invent a logo. So this would be capped to 64%. Again, you can customize the outputs. So if you have a way to add a logo, for instance, you click on you add an image and you drag and drop it on the interface. You add a logo somewhere where it is expected, and your local logo score goes from 5 to 100%, meaning that your global score goes from 64 to 88%. You can do that on every element that MGT tells you that is missing or unadapted, and in the end, you have a good score. Again, you have the full control of what's happening. MGT is a completely modular transcreation system. It's modular for two reasons. The first reason is that the generative models, what you've seen before, the Facebook, Instagram, etc., different social networks, and in each social network, the specific use cases of the social network are completely modular. You can add your own. We repeatedly update those models based on the industrial standards. So you can change the models, you can add or remove some rules because they are rules with score. You can customize the relative weights of the rules, like as you can see here. It's a simple slide. So that's the first customization you have. The second customization is done by the creative analysis. As I told you before, we have more than 20 models at the moment, mostly computer vision, some transcript models. But you don't want every time to use every model. For instance, if you're working on a podcast or an interview, you don't care about the emotions, you don't care about the brightness, you don't care about the close-ups. What you want to see is the people talking and what are they talking about. So in those cases, you don't want to use the MGT-XL. Maybe you're just interested in the MGT-S. So depending on your content and depending on your intention of your audience, you won't necessarily use the same model. Why not every time use MGT-XL? First, because it's way cheaper to use a lower model, and then because it's much faster. To be more precise, if you want the XL, we run every model. If you only want the S, we run, I think it's 8 or 10 models, and it's the faster one. So you can skip the line, you can go faster by just pick and choosing what you want. So this was the This was the complete explanation of MGT. I think the microphone is dying. Again. Sinon, je finis sans. Okay, so this was the complete explanation of MGT. Again, 3 steps. The first one is the analysis extraction, the analysis, which is the data extraction, transformation we transform the video into data to something that you can analyze and use later. Then you prompt your needs. You explain to MGT what exactly he wants. In near future time, we expect to plug something like ChatGPT or any natural language, any LLM model to actually type what you want and transform it into the form prompt that you've seen. And lastly, the customization of the output, meaning that because you can't trust the AI to do everything perfectly, because it's your business, again, a commercial has billions, you want it to be perfect. So you want to keep the control on the outputs, and you want to be very precise if you want a logo, if you want to remove a person, if you consider that the AI took a bad decision here because, well, it's the AI. I mean, the AI can be in your head, so you will tell the AI what you want. You can customize your code or something better or something that is more fitted or just that you like better. Thank you very much for this, for your attention. Just a quick marketing slide. This is a list of several customers we have, and the feedback. The original purpose of AV was to help people gain time. I mean, transforming a video from a commercial to the Facebook version or the Instagram version is a pain point for a lot of creative workers. All those customers say that it's faster, it's cheaper, thanks to AV. And the bonus is that the performance is better because we have objective criteria to say that a video is good or bad. So AV actually solves the problem, and those customers trust us to solve the problem for them. Thank you very much for your attention. If you have any questions, I think I have 10 more minutes to answer.
10 minutes for questions. Feel free.
Shoot. Yes.
If you could improve anything about what you currently offer, like, what would you improve?
Wow, that's a hard one. You have to ask my CPU. You mean in terms of outputs?
Yeah, like, would you make it faster? Would it be more like, I don't know, better suited to each platform? Like,
Okay. If we could improve stuff, and we are, I think we would add or fine-tune the models, because currently we don't see everything we want. Just to give you an example, if you want to use AV for sports, like for football sports, for football match, and you want the best moment of football, AV won't be as effective as it is for commercial. We have something that we call the best moments. The best moments are the highlighted moments of your video. In a commercial, it's very easy. In the end, you have the music, you have the speaker in, you have the back shot. Okay, that's the best moment you want. In a football game, it's when people shout loud and shoot on the ball and score a mark. Okay, but it's absolutely not the same thing as a commercial. So, for a football game, for instance, our models are not currently as effective as they could be to identify the best moments. Let's say another thing. If you want the best moments on a movie, if you're looking at a James Bond, or if you're looking at Lord of the Rings, or if you're looking at I don't know, L'Auberge Espagnole, the best moments won't be the same. They won't be identified the same way. So we currently need to work on that, and we are. I hope I answered the question.
It's a fantastic answer, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Do you plan on having some sort of feedback coming from the actual usage of the video you created? So you can create a couple of videos, you set around an 80 scores, different markers, and see which one performs better, and actually change from manually changing the weight to kind of automatically learning what is the best video for which platform?
Meet you next year. This is something in the roadmap since 2019, I think. It's what we call the broadcasting. So the end of the road is once your video is completed, you automatically upload it on Facebook, YouTube, whatever, and we collect the data, the consumption data. And as the video evolves on the platform and people use or consume it, we see that at this specific spot they leave the video or they leave the platform. So we will use those data to feed the model, improve the model, and continually upload or change the video. This also means that a video you uploaded once will be re-uploaded maybe 2 or 3 times in the complete life cycle with slight changes, just to keep the audience alerted. Yes, sir?
What's the business model?
What's the-
Yes. Can we pay per usage? Is
Okay.
it B2B, B2C?
It's currently it's a B2. It's a B2B business model. So you have to contact the commercials, the sales team, and okay. or bovine. You can try it for free on the website. So you create a premium account and you test it. If you're satisfied with the experience or you want more, contact the sales team and you can start a contract with them. Currently, we only work with business, especially large business, as you've seen, but we're open to any kind of business, of course. The business model is that you register for a license and then there's a consumption. Every time you analyze a new video, you spend credits and you can buy packs of credits. We intend to have a B2C model next year, somewhere next year. Yes.
And regarding large scale B2B, how much is it adopted the video, and how much is more like more automated scaling? Like for instance, I know if you're Korea, right, in several countries, so maybe you automate the translation in several languages. Where we are trying.
That's not a question I can completely answer, but I will give you as much as I can. Companies like L'Oréal, we are not. I don't know if we signed a deal with the Maison Mère, but we signed deal with many of the companies under L'Oréal. So it completely depends on the use case. For instance, 20 minutes, which is not on this slide, doesn't have the same needs and expectations that Warner. So some of them have completely included us in their workflow. Some of them don't. Some of them are trying. Because we have a large basis of companies, of customer company, we try to adapt to each of them. But just to give you an example, if you sign a contract, a deal with Norman fait des vidéos, so someone who does an influencer, a video creator on YouTube, he won't have the same need and he won't have the same experience. He doesn't care about having a specific permission or roles on his workspace. He's alone or he's got a team of 3 people helping him. So they don't expect us the same way. They don't care about SOC 2. But if you sign with LVMH, which is here this time, they are very interested in SOC 2. They are very interested in having a process. So one of the complexity we have at AV is that we need to adapt to the business expectation, which means to give great video, but also the legal expectation or the, let's say, protective expectation. So I don't know if it answers your question, at least it's my answer.
You also talked about cutting video to create the best one. Do you plan on generating video from the clip, fill moments and improve the score?
Yes and no. Okay, in the current state of AV, we don't generate anything. Actually, you have a super intern with you with the scissors. That's it. In a very near future, we plan to allow you to mix and match many videos. So you don't upload one video, but you can upload several videos. For instance, I want a compilation of every cast ever seen on GenFront. So you need many videos. And we will fill the gaps with what we found on those videos. In the next near future, we plan to plug MGT to a content generator. For instance, I think Google has one. So again, we won't generate anything. Google will. We will use the content generated and plug it to MGT. We have an example in the introduction video. You've seen that the commercial was translated in Spanish and spoken in Spanish. Actually, we don't do that. It's a contractor that does dubbing for us. But in the global AV experience, we have our own models, our own proprietary models, and then we plug it to some APIs for satellite features, like the dubbing or like content generation. But the analysis and the remodeling of the final video is completely internal to AV. Okay, if you don't have any more questions, I don't know what's the next step.
So we are in advance.
Okay, thank you very much again.